Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about variation number 10 of Rachmaninoff's Corelli variations. Variation number 10 is pretty much the beginning of the end of the first section of the Corelli variations. It's really based in about two big sections, and the halfway point technically is right here since this is variation 10 of 20, but structurally we're getting to the end of the very first section. So, variation 10, variation 11, variation 12, and variation 13, they're all going to be up-tempo and going to a bit of a midpoint finale. And then about variation 14, we'll have a reset to get us all the way to the end. But let's talk about variation number 10. Variation number 10 is really exciting. It's upbeat, it's fast, and of course it has lots of chromatic lines. That's pretty much Rachmaninoff's staple in this piece, is what can he do with a chromatic scale that is unconventional. So, if we look at variation number 10, we're going to see that the harmonies are pretty simple here. I'm going to play just the outside harmonies, ignoring all of the crazy 16th notes in between. Clearly hear the Corelli theme within there. So he's outlining these harmonies very simply, but then he adds this really interesting melody in my thumbs. So I'll be alternating in my thumbs, and you'll get this chromatic melody that just gives this whole variation lots of excitement. So let's go ahead and hear what that may sound like. So there's just a lot of fun going on with these three notes. Right, and it's just really exciting to hear what he can do with just three notes. Now, where I stopped will be the end of the first section of this variation. They're all pretty short. And it's going to enter us into a transition where he's going to develop upon this dominant chord that we last ended on, A major. So the first thing he'll do is just do a little bit of decoration. And of course the right hand is decorating all over the place. That decoration of A major will lead us into this chromatic scale that's going to add a voice 4 times. So we'll start on B flat, single voice. We'll add a second voice. Add a third voice. Add a fourth voice. And that'll catapult us into the rest of the transition to the second section. Now this second section is very interesting. Harmonically, again, very simple. He likes just simple triads, but in a complex texture. So we're going to be going from D minor to C, to B minor, to B flat, to A, to D minor. So you'll hear this, but in a Rachmaninoff texture. And it's really great what he does. You can hear how it's directly related to the first section of this variation. And he has this great left hand with this bouncing bass line. And it just is a lot of energy. Finally, the last two measures of the piece, an ordinary composer would just end this with a D minor scale moving upwards. But Rachmaninoff has this ingenious harmonic revelation here in these two measures. It doesn't really quite make sense to me, but it sounds amazing. So let's hear his version of this D minor scale. It's just, there's so many crunchy notes in there, and it's just an amazing way to end this variation. This is the longest variation that we've had, for sure. It's 2 pages instead of the ordinary 1 or half page. But it goes by really quickly since it's an allegro scherzando. So it has that joking quality, but it's a little bit more sinister. So let's go ahead and play through all of variation number 10, And just be on the lookout for those things, especially that middle line between my thumbs and all of these chromatic lines. So that is variation number 10. It's technically the most challenging variation that the pianist has been given yet, but it is just a big ride. It's a lot of fun. So come back tomorrow to see how variation 10 relates with variation 11, and the excitement that variation 11 definitely has. So I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.